Hello and welcome to yet another interesting time in Computer Studies class. My name is Blaze Ella, and in this lesson, we will look at the topic Networking Part 1 under the theme Information and Communication Technology. Now this is going to be a three-part lesson. In this Part 1, we will look at what networking is and the different types of network. And so by the end of this lesson, you should be able to do the following. First, you should be able to define networking, and then you should be able to list types of networks. I'm sure you will agree with me that in every day of our lives and in the different aspects of our lives, we need information. We need information to make decisions. We need information to facilitate different processes. And so because we need information is constantly being generated. But then how do we get it from one person to another? How do we get to the different people who need this information? Well, with networking technologies, information dissemination is very possible, very easy. Going on, computers can be networked using wired or wireless means. An example of a wired means is the use of Ethernet cables, while an example of a wireless means is the use of Wi-Fi. Now, computer networks comprise of several components such as computers, servers, and different network devices. It is important to note that there are different types of networks, and these different types are based on certain factors such as the size of the network, the structure of the network, and the distance, that is the coverage of the network. Given these different factors, there are three basic types of networks. The first type of network is the LAN, which stands for Local Area Network. The second type of network is the MAN, which stands for Metropolitan Area Network, while the third type of network is the WAN, which stands for Wide Area Network. So let's take a closer look at these three different networks. So let's begin with the LAN. Now here's a question for you. In what places have you seen computers? I'm sure you can find computers in schools, at homes, in offices, and several of such places. Now it is possible for such small places to set up their own network. Such network is referred to as a local area network, a LAN. A LAN is a private network, and because outsiders cannot access information shared on a LAN, it is considered a secured network. Also, LANs can be established using wired or wireless means. In wired means, the cables are connected to a central device such as a hub or a switch, whereas access point is used for wireless means. And so because LANs do not have so many computers connected to it, it is considered a very fast network. It is important to note that there are different types of LANs, but the basic two are ARCnet and Ethernet. ARCnet was introduced by Data Point Corporation in 1977. Well, it is one of the oldest, simplest, and least expensive type of LAN protocol. So over here we have the network interface controller. All of these parts you do not see because it is inside the computer. You only see this external part. And this is the port of connection. And there is the ARCnet cable with which you connect to your computer and then to a switch or a hub. And then the transfer rate for ARCnet is 2.5 megabits per second. So let's go back to the next type, which is the Ethernet. The Ethernet was introduced by Xerox PARC in the 1970s. It is widely used today in LAN connections. And we can see that the data transfer rate for Ethernet is faster than that of the ARCnet. Ethernet transfers at the rate of 10 megabits per second. And over here, we have the port of connection, and then this is what the cable head looks like. through which we connect to the hub and our computer. The Ethernet cable is also known as the RJ45 cable. So apart from ARPANET and Ethernet, other types of LAN include token ring, AppleTalk, fiber distributed data interface, asynchronous transfer mode, fast Ethernet, gigabyte Ethernet, and 10 gigabyte Ethernet. And the next type of network we will look at is the MAN, which stands for Metropolitan Area Network. When we look at cities, I'm sure we will find different infrastructures. We will find homes, schools, hospitals, banks. And I earlier said that such individual buildings can have their own network, which is called the LAN. But then when different LANs are connected, what is formed is a metropolitan area network. Now, a metropolis is simply a large city. For example, Port Harcourt City in Nigeria. So a network that covers an entire city is referred to as a metropolitan area network. MANs connect different LANs together using telephone lines. So an instance where you find MANs being used is an organization that has several branches across a city. So the MAN can be used to communicate across the organization. Let's move on to the final network, which is the WAN. So far, we've looked at networks that can be set up in small places such as a home, and we refer to them as LANs. We also looked at networks that could cover an entire city, and we refer to them as MANs. At this point, we're looking at the network that can cover the entire globe, the entire world, and they are referred to as WANs, Wide Area Network. A typical example of WANs are the internet and mobile broadbands. From the description of LANs, WANs, and MANs, it is obvious that WANs are the largest of all these three types of networks. Though they have the largest coverage, they are the slowest compared to MANs and LANs. We can connect our computers and other electronic devices to a WAN using public networks, leased lines, or satellites. And it is important to note that the internet is the largest WAN in the world. Now, LANs, MANs, and WANs are the three main types of networks. However, there are certain other variations of networks. There are certain other types of networks. But if you look at them closely, they fall into one of those three categories. Here are some other types of networks. We have the private area network, PAN. We have the campus area network, CAN. We have the storage area network, SAN. We have the system area network, SAN. We have the passive optical local area network, POLAN. We have the enterprise private network, EPN. We also have the virtual private network, VPN. With this, we've come to the end of this lesson. But before we leave, let's have a quick summary. First, we learned that a computing network is formed when two or more computers are connected in such a way that they can communicate with one another. Next, we learned that computers are connected using cable or wireless transmission medium. Going on, we learned that the three main types of network are local area network, metropolitan area network, and wide area network. Next, we learned that the types of LAN are ARPANET, Ethernet, token ring, AppleTalk, fiber distributed data interface, asynchronous transfer mode, fast Ethernet, gigabyte Ethernet, and 10 gigabyte Ethernet. In addition, we learned that when different LANs are connected, a metropolitan area network is formed. And finally, we learned that the type of network used at the global level is referred to as wide area network, and the largest one in the world is the internet. At this point, let's try out some exercises. Question 1. Which of the following is the smallest type of network? A. MAN. B. WAN. C. LAN. D. CAN. The correct option is C. The LAN is the smallest type of network. Let's try out one more. Question 2. Which of the following is not a type of LAN? A. Token ring. B. Internet. C. Ethernet. D. ARCnet. And the correct option is B. Internet. Well, that's all I have for you in this lesson. Till we meet in our next class. Bye-bye.